Today we're cooking the Wagyu of every animal. We're exploring some of the ocean's most highly sought after seafood, birds exclusively reserved for the world's top-rated Michelin-starred restaurants, and land animals so rare we had to track down farmers halfway across the world just to try them. We even got the world's highest quality eel shipped directly from Japan.
Oh my God, he's alive!
Thanks to Typher for sponsoring this video. Let's get started. This is a regular average steak, but this is the Wagyu of steak. Insanely tender, exploding with flavor, and it costs over 10 times the price. Turns out every animal has an elevated version, aka their Wagyu, starting with rabbit. This is our average control rabbit. For 10 bucks a pound, it's nothing special. Now on the other end of the spectrum, this right here is the Wagyu of rabbit. It's a French heritage breed called Champagne d'Argent, bred for ultimate flavor and a delicate texture. But keep in mind that as the video progresses, the Wagyu of every animal will get crazier and more expensive, and by the end of the video, we'll be cooking the pound for pound most expensive piece of meat we've ever seen on this channel. We've got our Wagyu rabbit all broken down, time to cook. And what we're making is the world's most premium Kentucky fried rabbit. Yes, you heard that right. We'll combine the eggs with some buttermilk, whisking that up. And we'll just add in those beautiful and super premium pieces of rabbit. It's been about an hour, so it should be perfectly brined. And it's time for the Bun Blaster 3000. Are you tired of trying and failing to cook your Kentucky fried rabbit to golden brown perfection? Have no fear, the Bun Blaster 3000 is here. Built with patent-pending rapid crisp technology for flawless golden results every time. Order now for just 3 easy payments of $9.99 plus shipping and handling.
Use only as directed. Do not operate while asleep, underwater, or during moments of deep personal reflection. Batteries not included. Results may vary based on rabbit size and attitude.
Okay, so we'll let that excess drip off into our dredging flour, and then all covered and patted in nicely. We want some good texture on our KFR. We'll give it a shake, and into the Bun Blaster 3000. This is essentially the exact same process used at KFC for their iconic fried chicken. The buttermilk brine should keep this rabbit extremely juicy, and squeezing in the flour should give us that distinctive golden brown texture. And this is the result. Some authentic KFR made with the Wagyu of rabbit, and at least visually, I think we nailed it. The crunch just looks out of this world. For the comparison, we of course have some regular control rabbit cooked the exact same way to see if expensive rabbit meat is actually worth it. We'll start over here with the control.
You know what they say, more bunny for the money, right?
That actually tastes exactly like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's pretty good. It's got a great crisp on the outside. It is a little gamey for me.
It does have a slight twang.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like frog legs.
But not that bad.
Now moving on over to our Wagyu of rabbit. Now of course this isn't actually Wagyu, but it is the highest quality rabbit we could possibly find. 3 times more expensive than the control. Let's see how it tastes.
Dude, that bunny is bussin'.
It is definitely an improvement. This one actually tastes like chicken.
It's so juicy.
This one tastes just like, honestly, really good quality dark meat chicken for me.
Yes. Like I'd kind of prefer just buying regular chicken because it's just as good and like way cheaper. I think if for whatever reason you really want to eat bunny, this one here is definitely worth it for the price.
What would you guys rate it?
I thought it was really good. I would give it a B or an A.
I think a B is very fair.
I wasn't wowed by how good it tastes. It just didn't taste bad.
We're gonna give it a very solid B, given the fact that some of the stuff we're gonna be cooking later is significantly more expensive and significantly more premium, but still starting off very solid. God, what? Did you just sneak a peach?
You want a hot take? My peach tastes way better than this bunny.
That's an embarrassment. This is a standard rack of lamb. At $15 a pound, it's actually a quite expensive and premium cut. And this right here is the Wagyu of lamb. Known as Australian white lamb, it's over 5 times more expensive than supermarket lamb with significantly improved marbling. It's described as rich, buttery, and a totally different experience from standard lamb. Now, anytime I'm cooking a rack of lamb, the first thing I like to do is score that fat cap. What this does is help the fat render out and give you a really nice crispy texture. Same exact concept of what we do with something like a duck breast. What I'm also noticing is that this white lamb rack appears to be significantly bigger than the control. It just feels like a nice big rack. I'll start by seasoning simply with salt, and black pepper. And we'll sear. This first step is all about rendering and developing color. We're not really cooking the actual meat at all. That is the golden brown color we're looking for. Now to go with the Wagyu of lamb, we of course have the Wagyu of pistachios. These are Sicilian pistachios from Bronte, often referred to as green gold due to their vibrant color, intense flavor, and rarity. They're notable for a stunning green on the inside and a deep royal purple color on the outside. These are raw, so we're gonna start by just gently toasting them up. This will give them that distinctive crunchy texture and flavor. It should be good. Now into a bag. I gotta go for a taste. That is a phenomenal pistachio. The only way I can really describe it and how it's different is it's almost like more meaty. Not dense, but just has like an interesting chew to it. And we'll pound them out. Not going too crazy, but I do want to break them down into a more crumb-like texture. Just such an intense pistachio smell now that they're blended up, and the color is just so vibrant, completely different than regular pistachios. Into a bowl, followed by a little bit of breadcrumbs, a touch of butter, a little bit of olive oil, and just a touch of salt. And this mixture will build an incredible coating for our Wagyu of lamb. To some Dijon, I'll add some freshly chopped rosemary and thyme, and I'll mix it up. And now I'll paint over the Australian white lamb rack. This will act as a flavorful binder. And from here, I'll just cover with that pistachio coating, rolling and pressing it all in. And onto the smoker to finish cooking. It only took 30 minutes to reach 135 internal using my TiferSync Gold wireless thermometer to track the temperature. Easy and quick. Beautiful medium rare. Just visually, it's clear that there's a super high fat content. I'm just hoping that given the price tag, that increased fat doesn't mean it'll just be way too gamey. All right, everybody, y'all ready for this? And we'll start with the control. I mean, as a once in a while protein, lamb is definitely one of my favorites. I will say it's a little bit gamey, but it is phenomenal.
I love lamb. It's juicy. That little outside pistachio crust really took it over the top. I'm really curious about that Wagyu lamb.
80 bucks a pound for lamb is crazy.
Wow.
That right there is out of control. Easily the best lamb I've ever had in my life.
100%. There's zero gaminess. It's so clean. Made me like lamb.
So much juiciness. I honestly can't believe that this is lamb.
It could pass as like some sort of like pork and beef hybrid,
Yes!
right?
Yeah.
I think it's S tier.
I would agree.
I'm also going S because it's 10 times better.
Our first S of the day. This is your average shrimp that you can find pretty much anywhere. There's nothing wrong with it, but honestly, it's not gonna blow you away. These shrimp right here are a whole different story.
If I'm being real, they might actually blow you away.
This right here is a Carabinero, the Rolls Royce of shrimp, and the color is unlike anything I've seen before. It's so deep red it almost looks fake, like it's been spray painted. Removing the shell, and the actual shrimp meat is also just so crazy looking with that color. Now I'll make a very small incision on the back, allowing us to open it up and remove the vein. Now we'll continue with that slice, opening it up to butterfly. Now we'll place them down on our plastic. We'll throw some plastic on top. Now we'll just very gently start to pound them out. Don't want to go too crazy with it, but we do want to break up those fibers. Now we'll just gently form it into a nice squarish rectangular shape, keeping it nice and thin, but make sure all those pockets are kind of covered up. That should be perfect, and we'll let it chill. Being extra careful here, removing the plastic. This is extremely delicate, and I want to preserve the shape. Down with the shrimp square, just a touch of olive oil, some lime zest, flaky salt, next some oregano leaves for freshness, and a nice pattern like so. And of course, we'll need some caviar, and this right here is easily the coolest tin I've ever seen. We got the Max the Meat Guy branded caviar. Shout out to my guy Caviar Man for hooking it up. Big dollops of that Osetra caviar to kick this dish up a notch. After all, this is the Wagyu of shrimp, and we'll finish with this deep fried Carabinero shrimp head, which if you really know shrimp, you know it's the best tasting part. And I have to say, at least visually, it looks super cool. Now to go with the raw, we got two types of shrimp cocktail. We have our Carabinero Wagyu of shrimp cocktail, and of course we have some average supermarket shrimp cocktail for the comparison. Presentation's looking great here. Start with the control.
It's
It's a good shrimp.
Freaking love shrimp cocktail.
It just always hits. Now let's move on to the carpaccio. Definitely the best looking dish we've made in a while.
This is stunning.
That is unbelievable. The shrimp flavor is so strong, but it's still clean.
That was incredible.
Okay, now for the real test, let's try the Wagyu of shrimp in shrimp cocktail form. So much more tender,
It's almost too tender.
but the flavor is 10 times better. I don't think we cooked this in the right format. Grilled, they're way better texturally. And the flavor of the head, like the shells, all that stuff.
I mean, the flavor truly is a million times better than your regular shrimp.
Straight up, I'm gonna give these an S. It is more than 10 times better than that shrimp over there.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's an S. Next up, pork. This is a standard pork chop you'll find in the supermarket. Really not much marbling, but not a bad protein for a weeknight. Now this here is the Wagyu of pork, and it's truly out of this world. This is a rack of 100% acorn-fed Iberico pork. These purebred pigs metabolize fat differently, storing fat within the muscle instead of around it, leading to this insane Wagyu-like marbling. Their acorn diet is also said to completely take flavor to the next level. I cannot wait to try this. And we'll get it on the grill. And just like that, it should be done. Pulled at about 130 Fahrenheit internal, we've got some really nice color, and the smell coming off of it is just ridiculous. And we'll slice it up. I mean, it is just absolutely packed with moisture. Pork chop is notoriously extremely dry, but I have a feeling with the Wagyu of pork, that won't be a problem. We'll plate that right next to our control pork chop, which honestly, it also smells incredible. Let's see how they taste.
That's the control. I think it's freaking huge. It's a really good pork chop.
To me, it's good, not great. It kind of reminds me of like a chicken breast. It's a little bit dry, but not terrible.
Super tender.
I feel like the thickness is making it taste better because it's even juicier, but it's a good pork chop.
And moving on to the Wagyu of pork. I mean, just look at how juicy this is.
Wow.
Whoa. It's incredibly juicy. Like it just bursts with juiciness.
The texture's great, but what stands out to me is the flavor. It's like a rich, buttery fat that is almost beef-like. Genuinely, it's like Wagyu-like fat.
I don't know, guys. I feel like this has to at least be an A.
I think an A is fair.
I'm good with an A.
Honestly, this easily could have ranked higher, but today, it's gonna be an A. Next up, goose.
Goose is loose.
And this one right here is as standard as it gets. Our control goose is $14 a pound and not particularly exciting. And this right here is our Wagyu goose. It is widely considered the best tasting goose in the world. This is a Toulouse goose, specifically developed for meat and foie gras production. Apparently, it's especially prized in gourmet cooking and classical French cuisine. So a couple videos ago, I surprised you guys with a bricked up duck, and it was an absolute success. So for that reason, we're gonna try something similar with this goose. Just like we would on a chicken or a turkey, we'll start by removing the backbone like so. Next, I'll just clip off the wings. Well, actually, first of all, let's check out the wingspan on this puppy. All it takes is a snap, then cutting through at the seam. Just flip it over, we'll splay out the legs, and we'll crack its back just like a chiropractor. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a fantastic adjustment on the C7. Yeah. And that right there is a perfectly spatchcocked goose, which will help us with crispy skin and even cooking. And we'll just get this thing seasoned up simply with some oil, salt, and pepper. Now, I've never cooked a goose like this in my entire life. I am very interested to see what happens. Okay, time to cook, and to track temps on this goose, I'd like to introduce the sponsor of today's video, Typher. You can't tell me this Typher Sync Gold Dual isn't the best looking wireless thermometer you've ever seen. The beauty of this probe thermometer is that, unlike an instant read, it tracks temps through the entire cook. Two probes verify temps on different sections of what you're cooking, like the breast and thighs of this goose, which both must be cooked to different internal temps. An issue with other wireless thermometers is you have to use your phone to set temps. Now, I'm more of a hands-on kind of guy, and I love this because, well, yes, you can use your phone. You can also do it directly on the unit right here. It's resistant up to 932 degrees Fahrenheit, so from baking to frying to broiling or finishing in a super hot grill, you don't have to worry. Not to mention the hub maintains connectivity up to 3,000 feet away, so I can hang out in here playing with Cleo while it finishes. Now, if you need to leave the house, the app continues monitoring, and with 6 individual sensors in each probe, the data is extremely detailed and accurate. Check out the TypherSync Gold series in the description down below with a 15% discount. I'm sure you'll love it. And as you can see, the skin we've developed is insane, given that we spatchcocked plus used the bricks. I mean, I can just tell it's perfect. I mean, this thing is juicy. Never thought I'd be sucking juice off a goose leg. The Toulouse goose is loose, and it's got the juice. A slice down the middle, kind of following the bone to remove the breast. And that just looks like the perfect goose breast. Let's slice it up. Some nice even slices with that crispy skin over the top of each bite. Just absolutely packed with moisture, beautiful rosy pink to it, just fully rendered and crispy fat. That looks as good as it gets. But of course, we gotta compare it to our regular control.
Something about goose that just weirds me out, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say that's surprisingly good for goose. Like usually it's quite tough. That was very tender, though it is kind of gamey.
I kind of like it. It reminds me of like the thighs on chicken and a mix of like duck.
Well, let's find out if the best goose in the world can convince you.
The goose is Toulouse.
It's definitely still very gamey. Like when we had the lamb, the expensive Wagyu version was completely clean, way more tender. This one to me kind of tastes the same.
I didn't like this one, I didn't hate it. I cannot tell which one's more expensive.
I feel like the flavor's a little bit better on this one, but I mean, it's not blowing me away by any means. I hate to say it, but I think it's a D.
This goose kind of sucks. That goose also kind of sucks.
I'm good with a D.
Sadly, it's a D. And we've made it to tuna. This is our control, a nice slab of sashimi grade yellowfin tuna. For our first Wagyu of tuna, we have this bad boy right here. This is the belly of a Spanish bluefin tuna, and not only that, but it's been dry aged for 18 days. It sells for a staggering $140 a pound, and the marbling is literally like Wagyu beef. It has these crazy battle scars, and this slab comes off a massive 200-pound fish. The desiccated exterior is due to dry aging, which completely transforms the texture and flavor. If you look real close, there's even still some bone sticking out. Okay, now the first thing we're gonna do is slice into our dry-aged bluefin tuna, and I'm happy because I can finally use my tuna slicer to actually slice into a tuna. We'll start with a slice directly through the belly. There's literally such a high fat content in marbling, the meat almost looks white, and at first glance, it's very much reminiscent of a Wagyu A5 steak. We'll take some nice thin slices like so, a touch of wasabi, and we'll try to form a perfect piece of nigiri. I'm most certainly not the most skilled sushi master, but all things considered, I'd call that a pretty good looking piece of dry aged otoro. Now, if you thought that piece of tuna was crazy, just wait until you see this one here. I mean, this thing was literally in Japan less than 24 hours ago. This is legitimately the highest quality tuna in the world. Sourced directly by Tsukiji Market's most prolific fishmonger, Yukitaka Yamaguchi. He's known as the Tuna King, and believe it or not, this particular bluefin tuna sells for up to $280 per pound. You can see how this piece includes the bloodline, the leaner akami, that medium fatty chutoro, and of course, the best of the best, that crazy fatty otoro. And it's finally time we slice into the holy grail. And just check out the fat content on this tuna. I mean, that is unlike anything I've ever seen. The goal is to cook the Wagyu of every animal, and if I'm being honest, this looks more like Wagyu than actual Wagyu does. Honestly, I'm just blown away. This is one of the coolest pieces of meat I've ever had in my kitchen. Shout out to Dry Aged Fish Guy for helping me get my hands on this. Now, to cut into our Wagyu of tuna, we of course need to use the Wagyu of knives. Some of you guys might remember this one. This knife has a T-Rex tooth handle, meteorite, diamonds, gold, and a Wagyu pattern on the blade that is very fitting for this video. Only the second thing I've ever sliced with this knife, and it's like butter. From here, I'll treat it the same as the dry-aged tuna from before, forming a nice piece of Japanese bluefin otoro that I'll plate next to the dry-aged and control for some of the most unique pieces of sushi I've ever seen. We'll start with our control. Had it 1,000 times and it's always busted.
Like that's just your good, solid, standard tuna that you would get at any lunch place, but it's not like blow me away good.
Next up, something extremely special. We have dry aged tuna sushi.
I don't even know how to describe that. It's like buttery goodness. I don't know.
I almost can't tell that it's tuna. It was amazing, but I think it's like a one biter.
That is remarkable. Now we have what is literally the world's most expensive tuna, coming all the way from Japan.
That is buttery heaven.
It's so rich.
That fish is almost even richer than like a Wagyu steak is to beef. And it was an amazing bite, but once again, you can't eat a lot of that. You're not eating a whole tray of sushi in that form.
But I think the second one was better than the third one.
I agree. It was a little firmer, but still buttery.
I prefer the second two. I think the texture on the second one is really nice. The last one was amazing, but I think it was too rich for me.
I feel like because it's so diverse, it's gotta be an S.
Okay, I'm gonna go A.
I'm gonna say those were incredible bites, but I would give it an A.
Another very solid A. Next up, eel. For the control, this is some store-bought pre-made roasted eel, aka unagi. It's produced in China and packed with all sorts of gums, preservatives, and weird ingredients. Certainly not the highest quality available. Now shipped in all the way from Japan, we have the Wagyu of eels. This eel comes from the top eel distributor, selling only to the best unagi restaurants in Japan.
Max, I think he's moving.
No.
Oh my God! Oh my God, he's alive!
I'm sweating thoroughly. Do I have to do that thing where they hit it with the freaking hammer with a nail? I've seen that before. I don't know if I have it in me.
All right, Max, let me handle this.
Oh God.
I got this.
We are going to humanely dispatch this eel off camera now. All right, guys, the time has come. Now, there's a popular saying amongst unagi chefs in Japan. It takes 3 years to master the skewering of the eel, 8 years to master filleting, and to master grilling, it takes a lifetime. Now me, I have 0 experience, nobody to teach me, and I'm mildly disturbed by what I'm looking at here. Something tells me this is not gonna be easy.
So I think I'm supposed to follow the backbone. Wow, that skin is remarkably hard. Dude, how? This is like Teflon skin. Hey, baby, come on. Oh, look at this, it's just gliding.
I think I'm doing this decently well. Okay. Whew. Allowing us to kind of open it up like so, exposing that beautiful white flesh. I have to say, this is going way better than I was expecting. And from here, I'll just take one more slice, removing the backbone like so. And I'll portion it out into 3 nice hunks and just check out that flesh. It looks super white and clean, just like fish. I'll get these skewers through the meat. Honestly, I'm shocked by how well this seems to be going so far. And I'll start by seasoning lightly with salt on both sides. Now there's actually one step before we grill. Because eel can be tough, it goes into a steamer to initially tenderize and cook while kind of tightening up the shape. And finally, we'll get it on the grill. Starting skin down over binchotan to render the skin. Definitely don't want this to burn, but we do want to get some nice caramelization. Now I'll just paint on some of that sweet and salty eel sauce to lightly char and develop color. I mean, that looks pretty good to me. And the flesh itself definitely appears to be tender at this point. I'll just finish with a bit more eel sauce over the top, and I'm 100% sure that this was not done exactly perfectly due to my lack of experience, but we gave it our best shot, which is all I could ask for. And let's taste the control. That is actually fantastic.
Eel is interesting for me. It almost has like an earthy flavor to it. It's very hit or miss, but this is pretty good.
It's very unique. You'd think it'd be kind of like snake, which is very tough, but when prepared like this, it's so tender. It's almost like a flaky whitefish.
I think I like the sauce more than I like the actual flavor of the eel, to be honest.
With that said, let's move on to the Wagyu of eels. I mean, this is literally as fresh as it gets. Honestly, flavor-wise, very similar. The first one was a bit mushy. This one's a lot more flaky, and it just feels like a very fresh fish.
I'm getting a bit more of a clean, mild flavor, less of that earthy, almost muddy flavor that I get with some eel.
I can't tell a difference flavor-wise. All in all, I think it's like a D in terms of how worth it is to get the super nice eel.
I think it's closer to a C.
I think I would have to go D.
Sadly, what that means, it's a D. Next up, chicken. And this right here is your standard roasting chicken that you'll find in most supermarkets. And while it's good, it's not necessarily gonna knock your socks off. But this right here is the Wagyu of chicken in a whole different ballgame. What? What just happened?
I think it knocked your socks off.
That is one hell of a chicken. It's over 4 times more expensive than typical supermarket chicken, and it's apparently as tasty as it gets. And as you can see, compared to our regular chicken, there are some distinct visual differences. The regular chicken appears more symmetrical and has a more pale white skin to it. Compare that to our expensive chicken, which honestly doesn't quite look as pretty. There's like little hairs sticking out of it, kind of looks a little wonky, but the skin has a nice rich color and it definitely looks a lot more fatty. We'll tie them up. We'll hit them with an oil binder and we'll season them up. Going with 1 layer of a salt and pepper based rub and just a light coating of a barbecue rub for some great color. We'll skewer them up. And to cook these, you already know what time it is. It's showtime. These are Ronco Showtime rotisseries. Yes, the same ones from that infomercial that had all of us in a chokehold years ago. In goes our chicken. In with our second control chicken. We'll shut them up. Now we'll just set it and forget it. Okay, guess I just need to find a way to forget this. Forget this. Forget this. Don't forget. Don't forget it, Max.
When you said it, you don't forget it.
It's exactly like I said before. Ron Popeil.
Don't forget it.
The
Said
wheel.
it. Don't forget it.
Forget
Max.
what I said about that.
Stop.
Don't forget it. You said it. I said it.
Ron Popeil. Peel the oranges.
Max, I think the chickens are done.
Just had the strangest dream. Completely forgot we were cooking. They look great. And just like that, it's been about an hour and a half and they should be done. Our Wagyu chicken seems to have developed significantly better color than the control. And breaking it down, it looks very juicy. Now we'll split the breast, peeling away so we can easily remove. Only time will tell if it's actually worth the price. But how does that compare to our regular chicken? We'll start with the control.
Looking good chicken.
Ron Popeil does it again. I will say that is one of the best infomercial products. It just spits out perfect rotisserie chicken. Now let's move on to the Wagyu of chicken. I'm very excited about this one.
The meat is good.
I wouldn't even say it's good. It's just, it tastes like normal chicken meat.
It's a little less waterlogged.
It is a bit more firm and like condensed flavor-wise on the meat.
It's not that much better than the normal version.
I think the dark meat on this chicken is a lot better than the dark meat on the regular chicken, but everything else, I mean, eh.
I'd give this a C instead of a D
yes.
because I think the skin is the most important part of the chicken and it really is incredible skin.
I'm good with a C.
It's gonna be a C.
For chicken.
Be gone, double. We've made it to whitefish. This is a yellowtail snapper. Nothing wrong with it, but it is basic and perfect as our control.
Don't eat me.
Okay, and for our Wagyu whitefish, we have something that is so incredibly precious that honestly, I'm a little nervous to cook this thing. This is a fresh blackthroat sea perch shipped directly from a Japanese fish market. At over $80 a pound, it's known for its luxurious fat content, sweet umami flavor, and delicate texture. Don't. Can't do that on a fish like this. We'll get it tied up, and we'll get it all hooked up just like so, and we'll get it in the dry ager. It looks like it's been perfectly dry aged. Time to cook. The quick 3-day dry age should improve texture. The skin is also now super dry, which should help us with insanely crispy skin. This fish is often served raw at high-end sushi restaurants, but I'm gonna try keeping it simple and just grill with salt. Honestly feeling a little nervous right now, but either way, it's time to grill. I'm told blackthroat sea perch has an insane fat content, so being aware to try and avoid any major flare-ups. Just touching up the crispy skin with some binchotan on the side. So far, so good. Jesus. Oh boy. Okay, holy. That all happened very quickly. I can't see anything right now. There's so much smoke in this house. I think it's safe to say our fish is done. Just barely getting this off the grill before it all went up in flames. And all things considered, I'm very happy with how this looks. I mean, the color on this skin is just perfection.
see if I can open it up, working backwards. I'm so interested to see what this meat is like.
Based on how much fat's rendered out of this, it honestly reminds me of a Wagyu steak. It looks so juicy. It's almost time to eat, but we still need a comparison fish.
Hey, sail cracker, you mind catching me a yellowtail?
That's easy, dude. We're gonna put that on a cracker. Let's get it. This will work? Perfect.
Whew. It is good to be on dry land. Keeping the process and seasonings extremely simple, grilling it up to perfection. Let's see how they taste. Shout out to Stale Cracker. This fish is literally as fresh as it gets. Flaky, tender, and nice clean flavor. That is perfection.
Nothing beats a super fresh fish.
Let's see how it compares.
Wow.
That might be the best fish I've ever had. Keep in mind though, this little fish is literally $200. But to me, the skin is really where it shines. It's just so flavorful. And the fish itself is just incredibly delicate. Like, it's so unique.
It's like a mini Chilean sea bass or something.
I agree, the skin is amazing. What I'm surprised at, the fat on this fish has an insanely good, rich flavor. It's like it's coated in butter almost. I'd rather eat $200 of this fish than $200 of Wagyu beef.
Given the price, I think it's a B.
I was gonna give it an A. That was the best grilled fish I've ever had in my life, hands down.
I think I gotta go A.
Another very solid A. Next up, duck. This right here is the standard duck you'll find in the frozen section of your supermarket. Over 3 times more expensive, this right here is the Wagyu of duck. It's called a Moulard duck, which is a hybrid between a male Muscovy duck and a female Pekin duck. Specifically bred for foie gras and what's described as incredibly beefy flavored and beefy textured meat. You can see how our premium duck is also just way bigger than our cheap one, and the color is also completely different. It has this rich, almost yellow hue to it, as opposed to being completely white like the cheap one. Now to cook, we're gonna treat both of our ducks the exact same way, but the process is gonna be extremely unique. So the first thing we need to do is separate the breast as well as the legs and thighs. And we'll get it separated just like that, leaving us with a perfect drum and thigh. For the breast, I'll start with a slice right down the middle, working my knife as close to the bone as possible. Once again, just peeling away that meat. Color of this stuff is just absolutely crazy. It honestly reminds me of beef. And I'll just lightly clean it up, leaving us with this beautiful Moulard duck breast. Over 3 times more expensive, and you can tell it just looks completely different side by side. And just like that, we're left with a beautifully broken down duck with those breasts and thighs. And we'll start with these legs that are actually gonna require a 2-day cooking process. And what we're making is some duck confit with a twist. We'll start by seasoning with salt. Next up are peppercorns and cloves, followed by some coriander seeds. We've got our herbs like rosemary and thyme, oregano, sage, and finally some garlic, as well as shallots and a couple bay leaves. And we'll give it a little mixy mix. It already smells incredible. We'll let this cure overnight, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Psych!
I'm back. It's still today. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, our 24 hours are officially up. Let's check on that duck. Wow, the smell on these things is absolutely incredible. Next step, we'll give them a quick rinse. And we'll just pat them extremely dry. Now I'm gonna try something that is absolutely not traditional when it comes to duck confit. I'm actually gonna throw these in the smoker for about an hour at super low temp. Duck confit is a long, low and slow cooking process, so I don't think this will like mess things up, but it'll hopefully bring some incredible smoky flavor. It's been about an hour, and as you can see, they've picked up some great color. It's still essentially completely raw, but it now has this pellicle, and I'm hoping some great smokiness. From here, we'll continue treating them like regular confit duck legs into the pan, and we'll completely cover in duck fat. We'll top with some herbs and garlic, and we'll bring that duck fat up to temp so it's nice and bubbling. We'll cover it up and into an extremely low temp oven to finish cooking. All right, it's been several hours of very slow cooking, and they should be done. You can tell they are extremely tender at this point, and they actually have some pretty decent color from the smoke, but the only thing left to do now is crisp them up. We'll get them on a rack and finish them up in the oven. While that finishes, let's tackle the breast. This is a huge duck breast, but treating it like normal by scoring the skin in a diamond pattern. Not quite cutting through down to the meat itself, but this will really help with rendering and crispy skin. I will season the fat side with just salt. On this side, we'll once again hit it with salt, as well as some black pepper. So the key to cooking this is we start going skin side down in a cold pan. Only now do we turn on the heat. No need to add any oil. We want this to slowly come up and start rendering. It's only been about 30 seconds and you can see all of that fat already rendering out of it. I mean, that is insane. See how it's looking? Oh yeah, that is what we're looking for. Now this is optional, but from here you can almost treat this like a steak, just throwing in some garlic as well as some herbs, and we'll just baste in that duck fat. Pulled at 130 Fahrenheit internal, that color is perfection. Now in case you guys want to see a comparison, this is what our cheap one looks like. Literally cooked it the exact same way, but it has just completely shriveled up in size. It's like a one-biter. I mean, at this point, visually, there's just no comparison. And we'll slice the Wagyu of duck. Oh yeah, that is juicy. We have that beautiful rosy pink on the inside. It looks just so juicy. But what I'm most happy about is the rendering we were able to achieve on the fat. Notice how there's very little white left. It's almost all crispy, salty goodness. But we can't forget about those smoked confit duck legs. I have to say, I mean, they look out of control. Just shatteringly crispy exterior. And I just know based on how long we cooked them that they're just melt in your mouth tender. One single duck cooked two very different ways to optimally taste the dark meat and the light meat with that control duck on the side. Pump for that duck. Honestly, it tastes great though. It is extremely juicy, very crispy skin, perfectly seasoned. I have a hard time believing duck gets much better than that.
That's a darn good duck.
This is so juicy. It's like a little duck gusher. A dusher.
Let's move on to the Wagyu of duck. Visually, it just looks far superior.
Is it just me or is it not as good?
This one looks a trillion times better, but like the confit duck actually tastes more dry and the breast is like the exact same thing.
Bigger does not always mean better.
This one is a better piece of meat. In terms of how much better it is, it's like a D.
Visually, it's just night and day, but based on taste, it's just not better. And what that means, it's an F. Next up, we got crab. For our control, we have the cheapest money can buy. In fact, it's so cheap, this imitation crab technically isn't even made out of real crab. And talk about a complete 180 in terms of quality. This right here is the Wagyu of crab. Shipped all the way from Alaska, this is a live Alaskan king crab. Considered the pinnacle of crab and perhaps even all seafood in general, it is a major privilege to have access to this stunning animal that can cost up to $1,000. This one is still very lively and the shell is crazy. Kind of looks like body armor. Okay, so we put him in the freezer to basically knock him out and do this as humanely as possible, but either way into the water to steam. It's been about 18 minutes, which means it should be done. It's turned into this bright red, almost orange color. Let's break it down. We'll split her in half and then separate at the joints. From here we have these legs that are packed with meat, splitting like so to reveal this perfect nugget of Alaskan king crab. Between harvesting, storing, shipping, and cooking, so much work is done for these little morsels of crab meat with an almost stringy but still juicy texture. There's truly nothing like it. Here you can see the difference between the real stuff and that fake crab. You can see they were going for a similar look, but the difference in price and actual quality between these is just insane. And it's time we attempt to make the world's most premium California roll. California rolls are typically made using imitation crab meat that is literally attempting to imitate king crab. So I figured we'd try using the real deal to see if it's worth it. Gently flip, adding the avocado and cucumber, finally adding on the Alaskan king crab meat, then ever so carefully rolling it up before finally taking our slices. Honestly, this cross-section looks very similar to regular California rolls, but just an absolute stomper of a piece of crab in there. I can't even begin to imagine what this might cost at a restaurant. Served next to the control, you can definitely see a difference. Let's find out how they taste. Let's start off here with the control. I've always had a soft spot for fake crab.
Let's do it. Bon appetit, bitch. Dude, hot take. California rolls suck.
I could not disagree with you more. Is this the best sushi in the world?
No.
If you want sushi and that's all you have access to, it hits the spot. Let's move on to the good stuff. It's way better. However, in this format, it's hard to really distinguish.
I think besides being sweeter and a slightly more real texture, you really can't tell, which is shocking.
Try it like this.
Oh, baby. I mean, that's so much better.
I like it, but I don't love it.
Let's do it based off of the leg itself.
I feel like I have to have it be an S.
I think an A is fair.
I'm gonna go with a B+.
We're averaging out to a very respectable A. Crab cap on, moving on. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I just turned into a crab right now?
Yeah, sure, that's gonna happen. Hey, Kyle. Jesus Christ, Max!
I'm a crab. Do my crab dance. Do my crab dance. Hey, hey. Moving on. Not quite Thanksgiving yet, but it's time for turkey. And this right here is our control. It's just a standard regular turkey you'd find during the holidays. You can usually find them for as little as $2 a pound, and they can be notoriously dry if even slightly overcooked. Now in comparison, this right here is the holy grail of turkeys. The Wagyu of turkey is a heritage breed known as bourbon red with specific genetics and diet that apparently produces the best tasting turkey in the world. And side by side, you can actually see some interesting differences just visually. For one, the Wagyu of turkey is obviously just way bigger, but if you look close, you can see the skin also looks very different. It has this sheen and almost cream color to it. And if you look closely at the fat, it almost has like a yellow tinge to it and an interesting texture in which it's almost rendering at room temp, very similar to what you'd find with actual Wagyu beef. Compare that to our control turkey, which as you can see has a way more pale skin and just kind of standard fat, kind of reminds me of like regular chicken fat that you'll see on like a chicken thigh or something. All in all, it just looks and feels a lot lower quality. After an oil binder, keeping the seasoning simple with some salt, going heavy because they are some big birds, followed by a whole bunch of black pepper. And we'll get them, oh, that's heavy, in the oven. We have Thanksgiving turkey number 1. This is just your average standard roasted turkeys, exactly what you'd find on a typical Thanksgiving dinner table. Pretty nice color to the skin, though not anything crazy. And of course, we have our Wagyu of turkey. As you can see, even just visually, the color just far surpasses the previous one. Super dark, crispy skin. Keep in mind, we didn't do any dry browning or anything done to it to give it an extra crispy skin. It is all natural. And I'll start by removing the dark meat. I mean, that is like a waterfall. I have a feeling she gonna be juicy. Let's move over to the white meat, removing the breast like so. If you look closely at the skin, it has that almost shard-like texture. Kind of reminds me of like crispy Peking duck or something. You can tell that breast is just filled with moisture. It's important to keep in mind that this turkey is literally 10 times more expensive than a normal Thanksgiving turkey, so expectations are extremely high on this one. Let's see how they taste. A little update, Sophia has officially named her cat Cleo. Everyone say hi, Cleo.
Want some turkey?
Thanksgiving turkey number 1. It's a good turkey, but not really special. Let's find out if our ultra expensive Wagyu of turkey is worth it. That's insane. The chicken didn't feel worth it. This does.
I really dislike turkey, and I like that turkey.
Really?
Not only is the skin 10 times better than a normal turkey, I noticed the juice and the fats coming out of this turkey taste way better.
Honestly, I think it could be an S.
S-.
Turkey as a whole is not S tier food. This particular turkey is. It's gonna be an S. And we have arrived at beef. This is a regular choice grade steak. Nothing wrong with it, but it's definitely not anything to write home about. Now for the Wagyu of beef, we of course had to do something extra special. So what I've assembled are 3 of the rarest Wagyu A5 steaks literally in the entire world. I mean, these are truly the Wagyu of Wagyu. Our first is a Miyazaki sunflower fed Wagyu A5 New York strip. These exclusive cows literally eat sunflower seeds, and at $190 a pound, it is significantly more expensive than your standard Wagyu A5. The second is called Kobe wine beef. Incredibly exclusive, these cows eat feed made out of fermented grapes and wine. Again, a significantly more expensive version of a regular Wagyu A5 steak. And finally, we have our Japanese A5 Wagyu olive fed, literally the most rare, expensive, and premium beef in the entire world. Only about 2,000 head of these cattle exist in the entire world, and just a few are harvested each month. This steak sells for an eye-watering $300 a pound, and while I've heard the rumors, this is my very first time actually cooking it. Gotta give a huge shout out to Alpine Butcher for these steaks. They're my go-to if you wanna try the best of the best. And we'll start with the sunflower Wagyu. I really wanna try and taste the difference, so seasoning simply with just salt and keeping the cooking method basic over cast iron. The key here is developing a nice mahogany crust before overcooking the inside. This looks perfect. We've achieved a nice medium to medium rare with what looks like good fat rendering. And there it is, sunflower Wagyu A5 cooked to perfection. Used the exact same process for the wine-fed Wagyu A5, which also looks absolutely stunning. Finally followed by the world's rarest steak, the olive-fed Wagyu A5. Expectations could not be higher. What we have in front of us is literally the best and highest quality beef in the entire world. Let's start with the control. Good steak, but let's move on. Start with this one right here.
That's crazy.
I think that's the biggest jump in quality from control to Wagyu. Can you guys taste the sunflower in it?
I wanna say I'm getting like grapeseed oil.
I will say Sophia has a far more sensitive palate than at least I do, and probably Kyle.
Whoa, what the?
To me, it just tasted like some exquisite Wagyu A5, which it is. Let's move on to number 2.
Completely different.
It's so similar to me.
I wanna say I like this one more than that one.
For me, that one is so much sweeter and a more rounded flavor. I much prefer that one over the sunflower.
Our final piece of Wagyu, pound for pound, the most expensive piece of meat we've ever had, $300 a pound. I'm convincing myself that I like this one more, but I'm not sure.
I got a very clean flavor, but I think I have to go with number 2. That wine one really took it over the top for me.
I like number 2 more, but I really think it's just very specific to the piece I got. Once I know what I'm eating, I can really appreciate what it is. But I think blind taste tests, there's not many people that would be able to distinguish which one is which.
Within all the S's that we've given, this one has to be the highest. I mean, guys, at the end of the day, beef is king. Thank you all so much for watching. Big shout out to Typher for sponsoring this video, and we'll see you next time.